Now I know how much you all love Ranger next gen videos. This one here is the purple edition Raptor, and it's here for yet another dual battery video, but this one's actually a little bit different because this is a dual battery setup that sits in the tray. So at the moment there's a little bit of bad press around with regards to lithium batteries, especially those that catch on fire. That's not to say that every lithium battery is dangerous and is going to catch on fire, especially ones like we've done in these Rangers before, where they're in the custom lithium metal bracketry setup, I guess you'd call it, because the metal bracketry setup is all pretty tough stuff. Because as these options become more possible, a lot of you guys like to DIY them or whatever. I really love these. This setup here with the prefab panels, it sits in the back of the tray, bolts across into the corner of the tray that you can see in this case with the pull-out drawer is more or less like unused kind of space. You've got a spot where your BC-DC charger bolts into, and this one here you can see has got a lot of different bolt holes on it. The whole thing just locates up so nicely. It's so easy to put together. The finished result here looks fantastic. We've got our tried and tested 40 amp BC-DC charger, the correct size cable running in for that so that it's going to charge. We're going to do a solar input for this as well. Simple Anderson plug connection. So all you need to do to get this whole thing to go together is you run your power cable through from your battery, which is going to be your alternator feed, into the BC-DC charger. We are going to cut a hole in the accessories panel to bring all the cables up through from underneath. The idea with that being that if you ever pull this apart and want to go and sell the car, return it back to factory, you're either just blocking that hole back off with a grommet, or just a whole new panel in there and it goes back to standard. Really it's just going to come together like a very neat little package. Very easy to install if you want to DIY it. And Pirate Camp Co, we've used a few of their products now, especially on these next gen Rangers. They got a lot of great stuff that's coming out for these. So if you want to go and check out their website, they're not affiliated with this video at all, but if they want to get affiliated, like, hit us up, because it is great stuff and I got no problems recommending it to people. Also, if you got any questions about this installation, or you want to look at some options for yourself on it, especially Rangers, Ford Rangers, we do a lot of them here, hit us up at canfitcollective@gmail.com, or you can also hit up our website, canfitcollective.com. We've got a merch store on there, so you can support the channel and what we're doing here. We do an assisted restorations program as well for people that are looking to do, you know, different works on their car, especially paint work. Check it out, canfitcollective.com. The amount of times I've pushed these cable runners through these things and they never come out of where you want, and this one here comes out of exactly the right spot at exactly the right point to go up here into the tray. It's totally unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it. Underneath the car, up here, what I've done is I've run through my 6BNS power cable from the front, a factory earth. You can see the back side of it up there on the other side of that bolt. To bolt on the earth for the charger and the battery, that's my power cable already running from the front. We'll have everything we need to make it work, and we'll just bolt it all together. Just at the end of this Ranger dual battery job, the last of the wiring run through and hooked up in the back. If you haven't seen it before on these Rangers, there is a wire that's actually down in the kick panel on the passenger side. Depending on the spec of your Ranger will depend on what wires are available. Some of them there's a high beam trigger that's available, which is great for hooking up driving lights, especially if you don't have the auxiliary switch pack, which some of these Rangers have in the roof. This car, being a Raptor, has two wires down there in the corner. One of them is for positioning lights. The other one is for start run wire, which basically is powered when the car is running, which is fantastic if you're doing one of these dual battery setups, because that is going to trigger the BC DC in the tray to switch on and off with the engine. Everything looks like it's working perfect here. We've got the 2 Anderson plugs just mounted up for the solar input, and which is the red Anderson plug, and the fridge output 12 volts. So I'm going to give it back to the customer. He's going to mount up his own fridge in the back, and once that part's done, that'll be this whole car ready to go. If you're doing one of these dual batteries yourself, plenty of tips and tricks there in this video. Hopefully that should help you. And if you're not already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We do a lot of these Rangers here, so there's always different levels of advice we can give you in terms of fitting a lot of different accessories to these cars all the time. So until next time, take care, and we look forward to helping you out on the next one.